Dan RadioStyle. Hope everybody out there's having themselves a great day. Projecting our fears onto others. It's something we do frequently. We'll look at a situation and we'll start to try to figure out all the nuances about it without knowing any of the facts and figures. It's kind of a common thing. I think our minds just like to fill in the blanks. It's something I even do for fun when people watch. I like to make up stories for the people that I'm watching and try to figure out what is their style. Why do they have different colored shoelaces, or why is the one cuff on the shorts like higher up than the other? Like, what's going on with these people? I don't know. Just examples of things that sometimes it's fun to try to figure out what the story is. But the problem is, for a lot of us, when we're trying to manifest for sure, is we will actually find ourselves filling in the gaps with details that actually aren't true, that are incorrect. And we do it because they're coming from inside of us, because they're fears that we have, because they're thoughts, they're subconscious issues that we have. So we push them onto others. This is the part of us pushed out, without a doubt, that I completely agree with. I think there are lots of places where people kind of misunderstand the concept of us pushed out. I think a lot of people truly believe that other people running about around you are actually you, and they're just pushed out versions of you. So we're actually walking around the world just full of us's, like our own self. And I don't really think it's that. I think everybody's their own soul. But what tends to happen is people will react with each other. Life's a stage and we're all players, right? Like as it was said in the past, I think Shakespeare said it, right? So we're all kind of going through our motions in life. We're all trying to do our best, and we're working together. And sometimes people, it's the same thing. Like, I don't know if you've ever been asked before, like someone might ask you a question and you kind of react, like you say something quick. You didn't even realize you said it, or it comes out in such a way that you didn't realize it came out that way, but it just did, right? And there's no taking it back at that point. 9 times out of 10, you just played that for them. Like the person that you were just responding to is having an us pushed out moment, and you just did the us pushed out. You were just that for them. I'm not saying it's right, and I'm not saying it justifies it, but there are a lot of cases where we're actually fulfilling someone's karma rather than creating additional karma for ourselves. In the sense that, again, someone has a need for an us pushed out. They're currently thinking how everybody's grumpy, everyone hates them, no one has time for them, and then they walk up to you and they're like, "Excuse me, sir," and you're like, "I gotta go, I'm late for something," and you just go wandering off. Right? You weren't thinking, you weren't trying to be mean, you just happened to be late right when they asked you. You were in the middle of something, but your response to them was them pushed out, right? They've already got this everybody's being this way thing, and bam, there you go. So from their standpoint, they're looking at you like you're a bad person, like you're mean, like you're not there for them, you're not trying to help in any way, shape, or form. And the reality of it is, no, I was in a hurry. You hit me up at a really bad time. Sorry, I don't even know you. You're a stranger. It's okay, right? Like, no big deal. But that's how the whole us pushed out thing tends to work out. So we tend to attract to us the experiences that are inside of us. Again, any normal person could react any number of ways. It could be their normal way, right? They could be a jerk 100% of the time, and you just got lucky and found the jerk because everybody's jerks in your world, right? Or they're normally super cool, but they're going to be a jerk to you because the way you're going to ask your question is going to be in such a way that it's going to actually set this person off. Like, "I just got asked this an hour ago. No, I'm not giving you any money," right? Or like whatever, right? They can instantly get into that defensive place. And it's not necessarily that they're always like that. It's because me pushing myself out onto you, I'm looking for this reaction. I'm looking for this experience with you so I can continue to believe that everybody's a jerk. That is how us pushed out works. We have these beliefs, these feelings, these understandings of how things are working. And when we get a small little snippet, a small little something happens, and we start filling in all the blanks with everything else based off of what's going on inside of us, based off of our thoughts, our insecurities, our fears. And we start filling in all those gaps and start making all that stuff up, try to make as much sense out of it as we can. So when someone is rude to us, sometimes it's us pushed out. Sometimes that represents a contrast, right? Again, it's not happening for a reason per se. It's just happening. It is. It is what it is. So reacting to it is going to create more of it. Making assumptions based off of this moment, like all people are like this because of this one person, that's absurd. No, everybody's not like this one person. This one person's not like everybody. This one person's having a uniquely bad day, apparently, right? It's okay. So don't let those things kind of set us off. They're contrasts. They're meant to be. But the important thing is, and here's where a lot of us, I think, get lost, and a lot of us tend to go down the wrong path. For sure. And it comes down to our specific person, maybe when we're trying to go for a new job, any number of these scenarios where we'll start having some self-doubts. We question our self-worth. Am I good enough for this? Am I good enough for them? Am I good enough for this job? Like we'll have our own set of circumstances within us that are causing some of the issues. So then all of a sudden, our specific person does something out of the blue, right? Maybe they post a picture on Facebook with some random person that you don't know and it happens to be of the opposite sex. Well, we're already kind of weird because we're not spending as much time with them as we want. We're already a little weird because they're not as close to us as we want right now. And we start assuming facts about this situation. Well, this must be their new boyfriend. This must be their new person. Right? This is why they've left me. This person's obviously better than I am, or this person's better looking than I am, or this person's got more money than I do, or whatever. And we'll start to project our thoughts and fears onto this situation. And we'll assume we're right. And honestly, most of the time, like 80% of the time, we're not right. 80% of the time-ish. I'm making a number up here, but it's a lot. It's way over half. We're oftentimes not correct about the assumptions we're making of this person in front of us. It's our fears inside of us. It's the things inside of us that are pushed out and played on the movie screen that is this person. This person is that white silver screen, right, in the back, right? They're the screen, and we're just projecting our images onto them. And so when we see them, we see that reflection of ourselves back on us, and then we start to relate to it from our own experience. So we start to assume a lot of things that are happening inside of us. None of these thoughts may have ever gone through this individual's mind, ever. But we're putting all of that stuff in there. We're filling it up. We're writing down all the nitty-gritty details. Next page. Oh my God, this story's got so much stuff. This person's a horrible person, right? Like we start spelling everything out. Honestly, if you don't know for sure, I think this is just the best practice if you're trying to manifest. Remember, as I've said frequently, your today does not represent your tomorrow. If you don't like what's going on today, focus on where you would like to be tomorrow. So if this Facebook page popped up with this person's image on it, and you don't know anything about it, well, one, you can always ask your friend. That's a possibility, but sometimes that's a little awkward, right? Maybe we're not talking to them right now, so we don't be like, who's the dude? Who's the chick? What are you hanging out with? Well, what's going on, right? We don't want to necessarily do that, so we don't. But really what's best is to focus on the fact that, yeah, maybe they are dating someone at the moment. And if that's the case, then so be it. They're obviously going to break up. So this is, again, focus on what you'd like. They're obviously going to break up. We're going to be together because I'm doing all this work and I know they love me. And obviously right now what they're going through must be something to show them how I'm a better choice. And I'm going to continue to be a good person. I'm going to continue to work on myself. I'm going to continue to think of them and send thought transmissions of love and of abundance to the universe, but certainly to you, I'm going to send more loving feelings, more kind and adoring feelings, more feelings that sort of represent the softer side of me. Like I'm going to try to get in touch with those feelings while I'm thinking of you. That should be your focus, not, well, he's obviously dating so-and-so. There must be something, then I'm not good enough. I'm not blah, blah, blah. And we start spiraling ourselves down into this horrible place because of what? False information, right? The acronym of fear, false something appearing real. What is that? False evidence appearing real, right? Fear. So again, a lot of that is us projecting our fears. False evidence appearing real. We're looking at this person and assuming all sorts of things about them. And in most cases, like I said, we're wrong. So focus on what you'd like to experience, even if your right now kind of sucks, even if what you're seeing right now doesn't jibe with your tomorrow view. Great, fine, it's okay. Focus on tomorrow. Focus on where you're going. Stop staring at your feet. Stop opening up the oven to see if it's ready yet, right? Continue down the path. Things are happening. This is contrast. Just call it that because that's what it is for sure. 100% guarantee. If it's something you're not enjoying, it's contrast. That's all it is. Contrast. Get lost in it and focus on it. You'll get more of that contrast. Go, that's contrast, and focus on where you'd like to go. Contrast starts going away, and where you'd like to go starts showing up. Focus on what you would like to experience, and that is what you will get more of. It's when we project, when we assume things about the situation, when we start filling in the blanks, and we have no real information to fill the blanks in with, yeah, we're projecting. That's us pushed out. That is totally us pushed out. You found the one jerk in the audience, right? Because everybody's jerks, and you made a comment, and there were 10 people there, and only one turned around and said, "You're a jerk." Well, yeah, you are too. The other 9 ignored you, probably weren't even paying attention, because those other 9 people are probably not jerks, and you're looking for the jerk. So, jerkhole turned around. Hey, I'm the jerk. Hello. That's how it works for us. What we've got going on inside of us is what we're pushing out and what tends to reflect back to us, what we tend to attract more of. So if you're seeing weird things in your now, it's probably because of where your focus has been. Let's get that back onto where you'd like it to be and get that off of your feet so you're not looking at your feet, you're not looking at where you are, and get you out there looking where you're going, looking at what you're creating, who you're going to be tomorrow. If your today sucks, then make your tomorrow good. It's easy. Focus on where you'd like to be tomorrow. Stop focusing on where you're at today, and you will see things change in your life. No one has accomplished anything by looking at their right now and saying, "I don't know how to change it. I don't know how to change it." You get there by looking at where you'd like to go, and whatever's in your way right now, you're going to get around it because that's where I'm going. Oh yeah, there's this thing in the way. Okay, let me go. Let me hop over that. Or let me go around it or whatever. Hopefully this makes a difference. If we focus on where we want to go, if we pay attention to the fact that a lot of the times the things we push out onto others is stuff that's inside of us. We don't know. We're making up stuff. You saw a picture on Facebook and you've decided everything. That's not necessarily right. And even if it is right, even if you're 100% right, that's your right now. That's where your feet are at. Where would you like to be? Yeah, this person maybe doesn't like you right now. Well, that's why you're using law of attraction techniques. That's why you're sending them love. That's why you're doing all this. Because you're trying to change that. You're trying to alter your right now. That's a perfect thing to do with law of attraction. Let's look at where we want to go, not where we are. So even if you're right, that's fine. This has to change. That's your answer. This contrast has to change for this to happen. So I'm going to keep focusing on this. And eventually that will change. Hopefully it makes sense. Projecting our thoughts and fears onto others. It's probably something that more of us do more damage to ourselves with than probably most anything else. And it's not that you're doing your techniques wrong. It's that you get caught up in the moment and you forget what you're doing. You forget the true mechanics of how you're behaving. You forget that you're creating more of what you're focused on. That's all. It's not a bad thing. It's not a good thing. But it's not a bad thing. It's okay. Start focusing where you want to go, and you'll get there. Thanks, everyone, for joining me. If you can, please subscribe. If you haven't yet, you can click the little picture of my face that's coming up. Do the little bell icons next to it, and that way, whenever I put out videos, you will be notified, and you can immediately watch or watch when you've got a moment. Please comment, please share, please like. All that great stuff. If you like to support my channel, those are certainly some of the best things you can do to make a difference. And more great shows coming up. Leave some show topics in the comments section below. I always enjoy that. And frequently I will write it down in my little notebook. In fact, I've got 2 of these things floating around because this one's basically all written on. I just have to do all the shows that are, that are written in there. But for once, I've got like, I don't know, like 20 show ideas in the can, and I'm loving it when you guys give me great ideas and great examples. It's always good times. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Enjoy. Thank you. Namaste, as they say. And we'll do more shows soon. Thanks.